Hello, my name is Datu Ezuan Ameer bin Datu Abdul Jalil.
I am Awang Farzul bin Daud.
Hello, my name is Lydia Binti Liman.
My name is Athirah Binti Saharman.
Hello, my name is Lau Sze Qing.
Today we are going to present the evolution of Malaysia's foreign policy under Tunku Abdul Rahman and Tun Abdul Razak.
Foreign policy is a tool of the government in order to have an interaction with other countries to pursue national goals. According to Joseph Frankel, foreign policy is consist decision and action which entail interaction between two countries or more. Malaysia foreign policy under Tunku Abdul Rahman is pursuit of pro-Western and anti-communist foreign policy. This pro-Western and anti-communist has turned to non-alignment and neutrality when Tun Abdul Razak has governed the country.
During the Malacca Sultanate had several forging ties with other countries in various forms in order to grow and increase the Malacca Sultanate influence and authority. Marriage, conquest, trade, and the spread of Islam were all part of the interaction, which led to the establishment of forging policy. For instance, Malacca and China relationship. Malacca close ties to China Ming dynasty were one of the elements that led to the city's development. The Ming Navy was in charge of safeguarding the Straits of Malacca shipping channels, which had previously been frequently disrupted by thieves and pirates. Diplomatic relations between Malacca and China were established when Admiral Yin Qing visited Malacca in 1404. Other than that are Malacca and Siam relationship. Malacca Sultanate was able to develop efficient diplomatic relations and avert war because to the wisdom of a messenger like Tun Telanai, writes Andrew Rodriguez. The Malacca Sultanate is one of the world's most powerful states, he says, and its people are overjoyed and grateful that his daughter would marry him. He adds the Siamese government has no idea what it means to have a prime minister, but they don't care.
The first factor influencing Malaysian foreign policy is strategic location, where is Malacca. Malacca is the best known transition location since Malacca Sultanate era, and the Malacca Strait is the main road for the ship around the world. And during this era, Malacca had already formed trade relationship with other countries. Meanwhile, Malacca has provides accommodation for the businessmen and also use Malay as the main language for communications. Therefore, the test system and business permission letter have been introduced to ensure the safety of Malacca. Second factor is attribute as trading nation, and Malaysia had trade relation with other countries since Malacca Sultanate era, and after the independence of Malaysia to develop the country and increase the economy of Malaysia. Malaysia is a country that practicing free market, and this has caused Malaysia have a good relationship with other countries to sell the raw material.
Among the three key factors that largely shape and influence Malaysia's foreign policy is unique demography. Malaysia pursues foreign policy that promotes human unity and respect for human rights. We can say Malaysia has a unique demography based on the multi-racial that was in this country. This has led Malaysia has pursued the foreign policy to focus on harmony and unity. For example, the apartheid policy that been practiced of South Africa. This policy has made Malaysia to not have a diplomatic relationship with South Africa.
Hello, I will be presenting the Malaysia's foreign policy under Tunku Abdul Rahman. During his period, Malaya led Malaysia practice pro-Western, anti-communist, and joint regional cooperation. First of all, the reason for pro-Western was because Malaya was just gained its independence from the British. This means Malaya is a new state which lack of experience in governing and vulnerable. Therefore, Tunku signed Anglo-Malayan Defence Agreement AMDA in 1957 to get military support from the British whenever Malaya is being attacked. Not only that, Malaya also joined Commonwealth in order to get support in terms of security and economy. Besides, Malaya also criticized on international issues like the apartheid policy, which is implemented in South Africa. Tunku had proposed to remove South Africa from the Commonwealth, as they broke the principle of it, as well as violated the human rights, where many black communities were murdered in Sharperville, South Africa. Furthermore, Malaya, later Malaysia, practiced anti-communist. This can be seen when Malaya did not establish any diplomatic ties with communist countries such as People's Republic China, PRC, and USSR. Malaya also supported Indian on Sino-Indian War 1962. This can be seen when Tunku initiated the Safe Democracy Fund to help the Indians as a response to fight the communism. In addition, Malaya sent soldiers under United Nations peacekeeping operations to Congo to solve the crisis between Belgium and the local people there, where it involved the casualties. Malaya sent the special forces as the president of Congo, Joseph Kasavubu, requested help from the UN. The reason for this decision is Tunku afraid that the USSR will involve in this crisis to expand their ideology. Apart from that, Malaya pledged support to South Vietnam, which in war with North Vietnam that practiced communism. According to the Institute of Diplomacy and Foreign Relations, Malaya contributed 45,707 shotguns, 611 armored cars, and welcomed 5,000 soldiers from South Vietnam to do training in Malaya. Moreover, Malaya established and joined regional cooperation to ensure security. Tunku had proposed Southeast Asia Friendship and Economic Treaty (SEAFET), which limited to economic, trade, and education. However, SEAFET was not a success, as it rejected by majority of Southeast Asian countries. It is because SEAFET seemed to be an anti-communist bloc which far from the real purpose of its establishment. Lastly, Tunku replaced SEAFET to Association of Southeast Asia (ASA), which consists of Malaya, Thailand, and the Philippines. The objectives of ASA same just like the SEAFET, and to maintain peace and harmony. However, ASA came to its dissolution as there were disputes arose, which were the dispute between Malaya and the Philippines, as well as the confrontation from Indonesia.
The implementations of Malaysian foreign policy under Tun Abdul Razak is totally different compared to our first Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman. Tun was focusing on the several issues, events, and dimensions of diplomatic relationship towards foreign countries. This policy was followed by other factors such as politics, economic, social, and defense and cooperations among the countries. Tun Abdul Razak was to succeed on his way, which the Tun step was by focusing over the security and defense Malaysia. On April 1970, Tun signed the Five-Power Defense Arrangement in order to protect the security system of Malaysia from communist threat. For instance, Tun created the Zone of Peace, Freedom and Neutrality (ZOPFAN) in 1970. Malaysia has been rehearsing non-impedance strategy or the exemption policy to make the respective decent associations with the numerous nations by joining the non-alignment movement. NAM is the platform for them as a significant conversation for interviews, executives toward positions and political and monetary issues to decide a global request. Thus, Tun Abdul Razak attended his first historically speaking summit as a part country at the third non-alignment movement summit in Lusaka, Zambia from 8 to 10 September 1970. In fact, Tun Abdul Razak was striving to make Southeast Asia a free arrangement zone liberated from any other forces. Malaysia has become the first Asian country to make a diplomatic relation towards China. One of the reasons Tun Abdul Razak needed to build up strategic relations with China was an endeavor of the National Front to win the Malaysian-Chinese decisions in favor of an overall political race required to be pronounced after he returned from China. Therefore, Tun Abdul Razak, along with Premier Zone and Lai, fostered diplomatic relations in 1974 to mark the joint report. The other reason is Malaysia wanted to establish diplomatic ties with China, was that due to the regional strategic causes and economic reasons. In May 1971, an exchange mission went to China at the greeting of the Chinese government's National Foreign Trade Corporation. As a result of this drive was that China consented to purchase the whole store of the Malaysian Rubber Fund Board. Not only that, China also consented to buy an additional 150,000 huge lots of elastic a year at normal market costs. In March 1972, the China National Chemical Export and Import Corporation welcomed an elastic specialized warning mission from Malaysia to visit China for about 14 days. Malaysia's recently established National Trading Corporation with Pernah sponsor a 60-member trade delegation to the Canton Spring Fair in April 1972. Besides, Malaysia also developed a relationship with China based on other levels such as sports and medical exchanges throughout 1971 and 1972. Finally, the organization of the Islamic Conference (OIC), which idea of the first Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman in 1969, and Malaysia officially joined them. The succeeding of legislature of Tun Abdul Razak gained advantage of his influential position with an excess of 25 nations turning to the individuals from OIC before 1970. Tun Abdul Razak's foreign policy had been an extraordinary accomplishment from his endeavors in the OIC. Malaysia was recognized of Muslim nation whereby in various of Arab-Israel contention, the Malaysians of public authority empowered related money, commitment and volunteers from the general population to help Palestinians during the Arab-Israel conflict in October 1973. In fact, Tun Abdul Razak likewise considered answerable for Malaysians' arrangement for Islamic Charter of OIC in 1972.
To conclude, the result of Malaysia's foreign policy under Tunku Abdul Rahman is Tunku is more about anti-communist and pro-Western. Malaya also gained military support from the Britain Anglo-Malaysia Defence Agreements to protect Malaya from communist attack. Next, Tunku Abdul Rahman also supplied weapons and shotguns and also welcomed Vietnamese soldiers to Malaya because Tunku Abdul Rahman support anti-communist country and because of this he led the failure of CIVET and ASA. Besides, Tun Abdul Razak is more focused on diplomatic relationship and more to be neutralization. In April 1917, Tun Abdul Razak has signed the Five-Power Defense Arrangement to protect the security system in Malaysia. Tun Abdul Razak also have executed 2 decrees, which is determine Southeast Asian countries state embrace and practice peace and non-mediation standards, and focusing on cooperation with the big power country. Last but not least, Zulfan is not really success because of one of the analysts has said that the ideology is unimportant and meaningless.